Okay, so that's how you produce your polygonal shape with a different color. You play with colors. Where please don't forget, and this class is combining everything. We are not doing our shape. We are automatically picking a lot of the tools. We are not following color, follow this, and we are playing with polygons as we use our tools to work. We'll be introducing a lot of other icons together. Like for instance, now I have do a little introduction about trim. I've do a little introduction about move object from one place to another. Okay, so all right, let's move to the next thing we have on the class today. Is called rectangular. Our rectangle shape. Let's go to our rectangle shape. Go to rectangle shape. Okay, so we move to rectangle. You pick on your rectangle. Can you see my cursor? This is the rectangle on that toolbar. I pick my rectangle position. I will now click on a rectangle and drag. Now, what you do is when you pick on your rectangle, look at what you ask on your command. I pick my position here. Now is not you cannot move. Okay, so let's say I put 1,000, 2,000 position. It will not shoot it. This is my rectangle position. My rectangle position is telling me this is how you produce your rectangle position. Okay, you pick your tools and there are many ways to produce your rectangle, but right now look at the first one. You drag. Once you pick your command, click your center and you drag, you produce your rectangular position. Okay, fine. So let me give you one other trick to do an accurate rectangular position. You want to produce a rectangle position of let's say for instance, I pick my line position. I need a rectangle of a 5,000 rectangle, a 2,000 distance rectangle. I pick a 2,000 position, 2,000, 2,000. Press enter. So no, I just pick any line of my choice like this. Let's say for instance, I pick any line. I pick any line to this position. I'll now pick I pick offset. While I am doing this, also introduce another icon to you called offset. This is offset. I highlight my line that I just draw just like that without any dimension, and I pick offset. I type 2,000 position. 2,000, I press enter. As I move to my right, I click there, the object will drop the object at 2,000 position. Now I'll do another one again, just anyhow, I'll pick a line, and drop at will. I'll now say, okay, fine, give me another position. I'll pick offset, I'll now type 1,000. 1,000 and press enter. As I dropped it, it gave me a 1,000 position. Wherever you are watching us from across the globe, this is Applicons Engineering, introducing Applicons Academy. Here we deal with design specifically in architecture and engineering design using AutoCAD. We are starting with AutoCAD low version. We advance to a higher version of AutoCAD. So please, at this stage, the class is becoming very interesting. Can you see what we have there? Can see somebody can see a rectangular shape here. Okay, let's go to our rectangle position. Pick your rectangle. Pick your first position, specify your second position. That's our rectangle position. So let's delete our line, our undefined line here. I'll pick here. So what we have here is a rectangle shape. Now let's specify our dimension of the rectangle. I pick my first position, pick my second position. As I dropped it, you see 2,000 dimension there. Let's try it if our other side is 1,000 as we specified. Click both sides and put it as a rectangle. We have a 2,000 long side and 1,000 short side. This is our rectangular shape. I am such the class is becoming interesting. Don't forget, don't fail to subscribe to our YouTube channel and also like our page. Put your comment. Let's know what we are. In this class, everything about AutoCAD is we will treat everything AutoCAD in a very simple manner. There are commands that you can use your keyboard, type your command, and it will come. But it's more interesting, trust me, if you're a designer, when you use your tools when you're picking your tool with your mouse to manipulate your line and produce your beautiful results. Okay, so at this class now, we move to our next class today. We will be handling our next class is arc. The next item we'll be picking here is called arc. How do you work with your arc position? Arc, we say, okay, we pick an arc tools, we specify our first position, When you specify your second position, the arc will come outside. But you don't just do it off-handed like that. Let's say, okay, we pick our first position. Remember, arc is the same thing as the diameter of a circle. So the half circle, semicircle. So how do you pick your diameter? Let's say the arc is 3,000. 3,000. We now pick enter. That will give us what? So you pick you. Can you now see your position here? If you doubt it, this is our arc. So let's see, this is position one, position two. Okay, position one, position two. This is not straight. Let's do one thing here. So, okay, fine. So the longer this line is not straight, there is something you can easily do. Take your point here. Okay, take your straight point position, move beyond the arc position. Now watch. This is where your another I'm introducing another tool so unit is called trim. This is your trim tool. When you click on your trim in the first spine, for it to work properly, now right click. When you right click, you have activated the trim to function. If I clicked here, I have trimmed. If I clicked here, I have trimmed it up. We will keep using the tools as we use them. You'll be getting familiar with them gradually. So that is our position there. Okay, so this is our position there. Okay, don't forget the diameter of this arc, we choose 3,000. So let's confirm if that is 3,000. I'll pick my first position here, pick my second position. I am sure you have seen what we've done there. That's 3,000. Okay, fine. So what is the circumference of this arc now? How do you dimension this area of the circle? You pick our point here. Can you say this? This is the arc length. Let's dimension the length of the arc by picking our arc here position here. Can you see the arc? Don't worry, we are going to get it right. Don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. This is our arc position. The arc is telling us it's sure something is creating on his own. Our arc position here. Okay, so that's our arc position. We will come back to it again as time goes on. This is how, let's not make the class too long. This is how you create your polygon. Polygon is that tools that enable you generate your semicircle. Your semicircle. So right now we go to the next tool that we have, which is called circle. This is circle. So you picked your circle, and this is our circle. How do you generate your circle? You specify your central position of the circle. As you drag down, you see your circle. So at this position, let's do the radius of the circle. The radius of the circle, as you can see from here to here, will give us the radius of our circle. So what should be the radius of our circle? Let's say the radius of our circle is 1,500. 1,500, press enter. Now we have this is a radius of our circle. When your radius of your circle is 1,500, means the total diameter of the circle is 3,000. So this is how you produce your circle as well. This is our circle. Okay, another thing we need to do here, this is our circle. Okay, this is how you produce circle. Don't worry, as time goes on, you will get familiar with all the tools. We are working with tools bar and we're picking our circle. The next thing that we would like us to pick up is our polycloud. Okay, this is our cloud, extension cloud. How does the cloud work? Cloud is what enable you when you are doing a beautiful cloud. So cloud does not have a specific position. Cloud, this is how cloud move. It enable you generate your cloud movement. All you need is you just pick your clouds with your cloud tools and pick your first position. We'll run it from here. We picked our first position and move this way. So this is how you produce your cloud position. Okay, we are trying to make our cloud position now. So this is our cloud. Cloud enable you. So I'll return the cloud to where you start from. I will now join the 2 points together. I will right click and click yes. By the time I click yes, it formed a cloud for me. This is like a cloud. Okay, this is how you produce your cloud environment. Should we do something very interesting on this cloud? Okay, I know we will get to that point gradually. But look at how this point now. I want to show you something very interesting from your from your shade position, your gradient shading. When you click on gradient, it brings you to this position. It brings you to this. You can change your color to whatever you want to do here. But let's say, for instance, now I have this one. We will take that again. I just want to show you something very interesting. So I pick this blue color. I will now add 4 to this one. I will now come here and click my position here. You know why it's telling me this? It's telling me that the arc is not closed very well. So this is why it is not closed very well. Our point was not properly joined together. How do you now join it together? Let's pick a line and pick this position like that and pick this position. And what you then do, you pick your trimmed position and trim up this position. You trim that position off. That's how you create your close cloud. Okay, so I have closed that point. I have also closed this point again. So we now have this. Now, having produced this, what is the next thing you need to do? We have closed our two position. Okay, so that is our two position were closed. So let's now try what we have to see if we can form our sky. This is how you create your sky environment in your design. I'll pick my blue color, pick my point here, and pick this one. Okay, so we allow the cloud to highlight. You now pick this one. We will not be able to wait for this because it take a little time for it to highlight. Then as it highlights, you right click and click enter to create your cloud. Okay, we will do this next time. Please, let's move forward. Okay, let's not use it. Okay, so this is how you create your cloud. Let's reduce the thickness of the cloud line so that it will become very easy. Okay, so this is your cloud. You can as well return the cloud to your color sky environment. This is our cloud environment. I am sure someone is enjoying this cloud. So okay, so far so good. This is how you produce that. The next thing you need to pick line you need to pick is your polyline. Polyline is that line that will enable you. You can use your polyline. If you click this, you move your polyline to whatever angle. Polylines does not go straight. You can make them go straight. You can make them go to any point. Any. Are you seeing what the polyline is doing for me? When I don't want this, I will right click. I will click enter. This is how your polyline is formed. Polyline give you any like a snake movement shape. Okay, that's how you create your polyline. That's the work of a polyline. All this thing will come to play when we go into application of a major design. As the show goes on, we'll pick a major design and we will work with that. This is eclipse. Your eclipse position is this is how your eclipse works. Eclipse works most like a circle, but you know what an eclipse look like, right? Eclipse is more like a shape of what? A shape of an egg. This is your eclipse. Eclipse of the earth, eclipse of the moon. Eclipse give you a shape more like a shape of a circle. Okay, not a shape of a circle, that really an egg shape. Okay, I was told when I was told in geography those days that eclipse, the earth is in the eclipse form, eclipse shape, sorry to say. So that's eclipse. Another thing we need to do is, this is the next thing we need to do, eclipse arc. Eclipse arc is that one you give your eclipse shape, but the eclipse does not close, okay? It doesn't close. It will give you an eclipse shape to a certain point, then you now have this. It doesn't close, okay? Eclipse position, eclipse arc. It gives you an eclipse arc, your position here, that is the eclipse position. So let me say, for instance, now I want my eclipse shape to be almost like a shape of a circle. It doesn't close, okay? So that's it. Can you see what I'm doing? I pick my first position, I pick my second position. As you're moving, you'll see it. It will give you an eclipse position, but it does not close. Like an arc, eclipse arc, more like you have your arc in circle, eclipse arc sitting as they work almost the same way. So, okay, the next thing we need to do here now, how this class, I want to like, okay, fine, today we will be rounding up this class at this position. Let's not over prolong this class. This is our first video for the day. We have been able to take from line to our polyline. The next tools we'll be picking today now, we have to do with our block line. Okay, so that's it. God bless you all.